As the Desk did mention, this match has huge ramifications for the top 6. And this is definitely a match we can be looking at towards the end of the season where the head-to-head could be the make or break between an opportunity at going to the World Championships. So Lola, we've seen these two teams already today. What's the big thing for you?
For me, it was just like they said on the desk. Fnatic did come up against a very strong Complexity team, but they didn't make these huge mistakes that we saw from FLIPSID. To me, they're a team that's very, very solid, but very direct. They're very easy to read, but against a team that's making constant mistakes on defense, that may actually be the catalyst to their victory. Absolutely.
For me right now, I'm looking at both these teams and saying that neither of them have really found their footing this season in RLCS. Which team can be the first one to start to play at their own pace, look for passing plays, and start to really open themselves up? Because Mystic has mentioned previously that Yukio has not been able to play to his advantage, and Siki will take advantage of an open goal right there.
Just trying to see what broke down here.
Oh, Yukio, that's... It's not great rotation for the rest of the team, but Yukio, he cannot afford to be giving the ball away that easily, and that's not going to do very good for the rookie's confidence.
Yeah, a really difficult situation there. Needs to hold on to that and just buy a little bit of time for his team.
Snavsky over in the corner. Early goal here on DFH. Fnatic going to continue to play this one as normal as possible. Can't afford to settle on one goal in any game. Snavsky gonna wait for it. Ball gonna come straight out. Yukio, I don't think even he expected the ball to be coming out that fast towards him. As FLIPSID Tactics keeping the ball in their possession, wanting to see whether or not they can force a mistake from Fnatic. If they keep putting the ball off the backboard, they might very well do that. But now on the break, Fnatic looking for their chance, but Mystic already up in the air. He gets another block. Mystic might be able to set this up now for his team. He's got people in support, but finally Siki will shut him down. Good individual play, though, from Mystic.
The Maestro did have a huge performance in his first showing.
Okay, he had good stuff, and then he missed that ball. We can't all be perfect.
Yeah.
Snavsky now off the backboard. Might be able to follow this up himself. It's going to be dangerous. Siki was thinking about it, but Mystic already up in the air. And now cooks it. Setting up for Yukio. He does have Mystic as an option, but instead gets blocked almost immediately. Fnatic, there is no one back but Yukio, who will take this away. Siki already knew that. Decided to wait around, wanted to see where Yukio would push it.
Much better from FLIPSID here on that right side. Just contesting immediately after each other to bring that back downfield. Just similar situations we've seen from other teams. Oh my goodness, an own goal from FLIPSID.
Fnatic are going to take the 2-goal lead off 2 different mistakes from FLIPSID Tactics. Mystic, unfortunately, is just going to plop the ball into his own net. This has been a much better game, though, overall from both these teams in terms of speed and ideas and aggression, but unfortunately for FLIPSID Tactics, 2 major chances going against them, and they've been pretty much only to blame for them.
Been trying to pay attention to Siki as he's one away from 100 assists total. Came into the day with that, didn't have any in his first match of the day. And so far, he's only scored 2 goals for him, only 2 for Fnatic. But a good start, trying to make it 3 in a hat trick, plays it off the crossbar.
Cookser will be there first. Puts the ball up high. He's got Mystic over in support, who looks to go off the backboard. Might go for the double tap, and he will hit it, but then gets the crossbar. Unfortunate there for FLIPSID Tactics. Mystic got to be so frustrated right now. He's doing so much right, but it just hasn't worked out for him. Siki over into the corner. Yukio was ready and waiting. Fnatic can start to settle, or maybe they can't. Lovely cross-map pass over to an awaiting Cooksir.
Just a fantastic transition. You see Snavsky get bumped around, and then Maestro cheating up a little bit too far in that scenario. He was expecting his teammate to be able to contest that and play it back in mid. But well done by FLIPSID, able to bring that back to the opposite side of the field, take advantage of that opportunity.
Now we're down to a 1-goal game. Just over 2 minutes remaining now. Maestro up. Gets the clear. He's also got Snavsky to aim for. Who's going to get it off the backboard. Goes for the double tap. Can't quite get it. But Siki with the follow-up. 2-goal lead re-established.
Switch and rolls here. For me, Siki has been a player that's been fantastic positioning-wise on defense. We haven't really seen him too much on offense, but this leading charge by Snavsky, not only putting that shot on the backboard to break a defender, but then literally breaks a defender by pushing him out of the way. Really well led by Snavsky.
Hat-trick hero there for Siki. Now Snaski wants to get one of his own, but it is shut down by the closing defense of Flipside Tactics. 2 minutes remaining here, 2 goals separating. As Fnatic will just look to try and sit on this lead. Mystic almost managed to get the pass infield. You know, Yukio was waiting for that. He wants to go for the angle himself. Almost caught Fnatic out. Even they didn't expect Yukio to be able to find that angle. Now Mystic takes the shot. It's down to the bottom right-hand corner. Fnatic doing a great job of maintaining offensive possession. But can they keep it going? It looks like Fnatic has finally got it away as they try and look to make it a 3rd goal to their advantage.
Just seems to be that aspect of getting swept by Complexity earlier in the day has lit a fire underneath them. A sense of urgency has come across Fnatic.
Mystic forced the ball to the middle, but Snaski already on the goal line will happily clear that one away. Yukio finds Mystic, who's already waiting on the wall, but just unable to get the ball centered for any of his Flipside Tactics teammates. And you can already see Fnatic, they are not going to commit to anything unless it is a certain goal. As on the side of Flipside, they have got to really put something together here. They want any chance of breaking Fnatic down. Infield pass over to Cooksir, puts it up high, and he will turn this into a 1-goal game.
Exactly what we've been looking for from this team. Carpet showed it down, and we saw a little bit of it earlier, but in the opposite aspect in their first match. But a good way, drawing out that defender on that back wall. Yukio just sitting there waiting. Plays it back inside and a quick shot on net. They bring it back within 1. Team trying not to wait till game number 3 to rev it up.
Oh, Cooksir gonna put it up high and gonna go bar down and in. 3-all. And now it is all to play for.
Right off the kickoff, and well played by Yukio there as well. He takes his time on that pass. He makes sure Snaski commits on defense, and as soon as he gets there, he plays it over to the other side. And you know you can rely on Cooksir to hit that shot almost every single time.
Fnatic didn't even have a chance to set up the defense. Siki wants to go over the top there. It's so crucial as Mystic is having a major problem with the back of his own goal. Finally able to turn himself around and get the ball away. 20 seconds remaining. Maybe Flipside Tactics can take this down in regulation. Cooksir plays it straight over to Yukio. Neither of them wanting the ball to loiter around in front of their net. As we could be heading over to overtime, something that Flipside Tactics was so deadly at earlier on in their series against Envy. Can they pull it off yet again? Because we are in overtime.
Curious to see on how this one was come back. Guys on the desk said to game 5. And what a way to start. Overtime in game number 1. Flipside had to battle back to get here, though.
Oh, Yukio's miss almost ended up catching Cooksir out on the goal line as the shot goes off the crossbar. Now Yukio looking to play it to the side. Snaski over to Maestro. Passes the ball straight to the corner. He's going to try and steal some boost here. A lot of times teams will just push the ball to the opponent's side and just go and try and steal whatever they can. But 2 players committed might offer an opportunity for Mystic. Lovely tackle there, though, from Snaski. Went low, but it might not matter. Huge save there from Siki, and Fnatic hold on. Now up yet again. Snaski, big clear from him. And we are still in overtime in this match. Snaski wants to try and follow up. He's managed to get it. Almost went over the top of Cooksir, but now Yukio can look for the negative angle just a hair lengths away.
So close for Yukio, just not enough boost to get that touch.
Fnatic having the better of the offensive opportunities in this overtime as we come towards the end of that first minute. Siki launches. He's not got anywhere near this. That's a lot of boost used as well. He's going to go downfield, be a target man. Can he be found? It's off the post. Was going to be covered anyway by Yukio, who picks him up a savior medal. And now we're all the way back down to the other side. Snaski needed a bit more than that. It's going to invite Mystic. It's got to go over underneath, though. Snaski up high, forcing the ball to the corner. Siki ends up missing. Very sloppy all of a sudden from both these teams. Siki wants to try and get this one to come all the way down, but Yukio already up to meet it. Snaski goes for the shot, and Mystic able to avoid Siki and gets himself the save. We're coming up on 2 minutes now. Cooksir might have this centered, but it's only over to Siki, whose defensive positioning usually cannot be questioned. Once again there, in a very good position, not only to get the save, but also clear.
Starting to see Mystic play a little bit more up. He was kind of the hero last week towards the end.
Oh, he's got rid of 2 there. There's going to be the follow-up, and there's
what a
the save. Snasky, I don't know how much of that he knew about, but nonetheless, he has kept his team in this crucial game 1.
Really stepping up here is Snasky, helping out his team. Maestro's been a little bit quiet, though. See what he does with it.
Oh, that's a bad challenge there. Didn't really have any hope in Snasky. He's got to do too much here. He can't hold everyone off. And Fnatic will take game 1.
That one just sat in the midfield a little bit too long. I was waiting for Maestro to move up, but saw that defender approaching. And that's all it took. They just overwhelmed them on this last end. And after 2.5, almost a full game through, FLIPSID's going to sneak that one out in overtime.
Yeah, very disastrous end there to Fnatic, and after a game that they were in such good control of, they dropped it in the final half a minute, and then they've dropped the entire game in overtime. They are not going to be feeling too good about that one, especially coming in off a sweep earlier on against Complexity.
Yeah, that's the difficult aspect to it as well, but for FLIPSID, we talked about it, you know, they started ramping up towards the end, and maybe that series at the beginning was enough to get them warmed up. You saw it where they didn't want to wait till the very end of the series to have to play catch-up, and that's the way to do it, you know, assert that dominance. I mentioned it from Mystic on that back line. He was under a lot of pressure, making a lot of crucial saves, as was Snasky, but the difference being is that he was willing to move up to that midfield and challenge at the midline rather than waiting for it to transition down to them.
Absolutely. It seemed like FLIPSID were happy to switch styles during that one and just go, okay, Cooks here, here's boost, go and do your thing. Me and Yukio, we are going to try and cover whatever we can. Mixed results so far, but they're going to see how well they can take that and just develop it as we move ahead in this series. Yeah. But Fnatic had a lot of success with a loitering player downfield, especially when they just aimed for Siki.
Yeah, Siki, for him to transition onto offense is actually really surprising for me, and I like it. It's giving the ability for their star player, I guess, in Maestro, a player who has been totally decorated in the RLCS, obviously missing out just shy of that World Championship due to schooling and stuff, but for him to take a step back, allow Siki to move up, it really changes the dynamic of this team, and it's pretty welcoming. I actually really enjoy seeing it.
Game 2 now over on Wasteland. We've already seen 7 goals from these teams in only 1 match. Seems to be a little bit of a habit of FLIPSID tactics, as they had that hugely goal-scoring game earlier against Envy, and they're going to start us off earlier in this one. Cooks here, taking advantage of a very lax defense here from Fnatic. Just
a lot of it because of the pressure of Mystic. You see him there just rotating around, 2 players in that corner trying to bump either one of them. Even possibly deny some boosts, just to get caught off guard by the pressure of FLIPSID. This is what we're hoping out of FLIPSID. Play that aggressive style, get in the face of this team, because it's going to make it very difficult for a Fnatic that is very straightforward, very direct in their approach.
It's very rare that we can look towards a certain mechanic and say that that's been the difference maker so far, but for me, Mystic's ability to win challenges has been huge so far, because he's getting it one-on-one, and he's getting the ball loose in a defensive nightmare zone for Fnatic. Cooks has been able to take advantage of almost every single time. Yukio will be beat by Siki. Shot will be on target, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Mystic hasn't got much on it, though, and we are all tied up.
Again, Siki leading the charge in a goal, which is able to play it off that backboard. Oh. Unfortunately, Mystic wasn't in the right position. As he flips around, he just tries to make a last-ditch effort, and it ends up being horrible in front of his net. Those are the mistakes the guys were talking about. You can't make those mistakes on defense at this level of play.
Absolutely. Mystic had the ball cam on and then didn't realize that there was a whole lot of post coming up towards him. Just got caught out on that.
Sometimes those stationary objects sneak up on you, man.
Dude, I have kicked a table way too many times, and it is always the table's fault. Cooks here. Passes straight over to Mystic. There's going to be no follow-up. Maestro can take control of this ball. Heads down to the other end of the pitch. There's going to be no infield options for Snasky, despite the fact that he did go for it. Instead, just going to go straight over to Siki. Wants to try and take it all the way over the top, but once again, Cooks here, so much more active this game than we've seen from him in the RLCS so far. Mystic wants to be the link up. Yukio all the way back. That's a lot of pressure to be putting on the rookie to say, all right, me and Mystic are going to move forward and try and do something. Here's Fnatic's offense. Deal with that.
I actually like it, though. Last week, we saw a lot of issues with Cookser in trust and in his faith in Yukio. A lot of double commits. A lot of time they were actually bumping into each other, even though Yukio had clear possession of the ball. I like this change, though. It's allowing their defense to move up. Cookser can survey the field and then be that consistent player we know and love.
Cookser wanted the double tap off the floor. Mystic, once again, doing such a great job of creating opportunities, and Fnatic have had no answer to him whenever he has taken that ball up the wall. Cooks ends up missing. 2 players committed from Fnatic. Should allow Yukio more than enough time, but he hasn't taken the boost. And a bit of a wasteful touch there from him as well. So will mean Fnatic will get away with that. Not only that, but they've now got territory. Well, at least they had it momentarily. Mystic off that wall. Can he continue his streak? Nope, not that time around. But here's the problem for Fnatic. Every time they get a clear, there is no one around to follow it up. And instead, F3 can continuously rotate back onto offense. Mystic is being a major thorn in Snaski's side as they try and get a shot on target. But now one-on-one, Siki against Mystic. Yukio trying to rotate back. Siki's got Maestro over in the middle as well. Nothing going to come of that one. And now Snaski takes his time up on the wall, wants to try and get it past Yukio, who has read that one well. Got it over to Cooksy, pounds it off the wall. Here is Mystic. Big challenge there from Maestro, but Fnatic keep finding themselves in defense. And they need to start getting more control of the rest of this field because this is becoming a huge problem. Oh, wow, sorry, Lola, as that's going to go straight in from Cooksy. And just like that, it finally breaks down.
Oh, it's exactly like you talk about, man. It's just a matter of that lack of midfield presence. Ball's played immediately back in midfield, and someone, doesn't matter who, is playing that right back in. It's only a matter of time that they're going to be susceptible to those attacks. A lot of it, though, we talk about Mystic. He's the captain of this team. It's a different role, especially with the veteran of someone like Cookser. Needs to step up, and what he's been doing.
What a setup! Yukio with the tap down, and Cookser will finish it off for one of the greatest players we've seen this week.
What an easy setup for him as well, but that touch to completely kill the momentum in front of the net, the unselfish play. He knows his teammate's going to be able to follow up after that initial touch. So well done, this young player. Mystic has said it. I don't think we've seen how good Yukio can be. He's showing that here. The confidence of the young player really stepping up.
A 2-goal lead. Yukio, the aforementioned player, now forced to try and take this. He's got past one, but Siki will be there. Mystic able to avoid the mid-air bump there from Snaski. As Fnatic, I feel like it's just settled into them now. The fact that they do need some offensive pressure, it's something that they've struggled with all season long. Well, they're trying to get the basics down, but nothing basic about that dribble play there from Mystic. Such good timing on his flicks. The clear from Mystic will leave Fnatic trailing by 2 with only a minute remaining now. Shot on target, Snaski just there on time. This increased pace from Fnatic, Flipside Tactics, working out perfectly right now. And I do like it a lot more because when you play at increased pace, you suddenly now start to resort into muscle memory and game IQ. That is so much better for Mystic and for Yukio so they can avoid those double commits.
Yeah, he's getting too much in his head, but the big reason why I like that continuous pace, it helps in every aspect of the pitch. The ability to deny boost and contain boost management. And that continuous movement also helps on defense. The ability to not have this overlapping field because someone's easily going to be moving out of field. You know, they're not going to be sitting there bunched up in that back post or whatever it is, tripping over each other. If they're continuously moving, that just means there's one person to challenge, but needs to be careful as Mystic makes a crucial save.
20 seconds remaining now. Still 2 goals. Fnatic see themselves trailing. Shot there from Siki will be saved by Yukio. Probably his best individual game performance so far this season. He'll be looking to try and build upon that as Flipside Tactics will be taking game number 2, and this will be match point for them. And there is a lot of work for Fnatic to do right now.
Well, let's talk about that. So you mentioned, and I totally agree with you, it just seems to be that this really fast play style is not being punished whatsoever in Flipside Tactics. A lot of it has to do with the fact that as soon as you make a mistake, that's the biggest and most crucial part about playing really quick. You cannot make mechanical mistakes, because if you do, they're easily exploitable. Fnatic just isn't doing anything to either A, exemplify that, one, they're not forcing any pressure on them whatsoever to make those mistakes happen, and they're just allowing that midfield to be completely gone.
Absolutely. I mean, it just seems like Flipside Tactics have control over 70% of the field, and only when it hits that final 30% do Fnatic suddenly kick themselves into gear and go towards the ball. The question then becomes, well, where is this coming from? Are they just so nervous about playing the game where they're just fundamentals only right now? Or is it like what is it?
It's really weird too, and I honestly don't know. It's interesting to see the contrast, because in game number 1, it's almost as if they put all their eggs in the basket and we're like, all right, Siki, you're going to be the offense. He has a ton of goals, has a hat trick himself, and everything works on that offensive side. But as soon as it didn't get them the win, they gave up on it.
Absolutely.
They should go back to it. It was clearly working.
Absolutely. I mean, the current style that they're playing really suits Mystic as well. He can take the ball on the wall. You know you can only send one player to that, and every single time you do challenge, the ball's coming out no matter what. There's a huge chance there for Mystic just to try and beat a player and get the setup, and there is nothing Fnatic can do. They're currently playing into FLIPSID Tactics' hands.
I mean, it's so risky, too, to see Mystic play that aggressive as normally the third man, right? And no one's exploiting it. Someone needs to challenge him up in that midfield and then just allow the rest of the team to counter, because in most of the circumstances, Fnatic has more numbers back than they do forward.
Well, every single game, FLIPSID Tactics have started off perfectly by getting a goal. This time around, Cooksir will be denied by Siki. So a much better start here from Fnatic. They want to try and play a slower pace here. They can't afford to concede as early as they have been. Now Snaski might be able to try and challenge this, but Yukio keeps control after his first touch. Going to go all the way to the far side. Siki looking for the clear. Maestro gets himself shut down, but only momentarily as he's got the pass over to Siki. Can't quite make contact.
Difficult to read off that ceiling.
Double commit from Yukio and Cooksir probably will not be punished, as now they find the passing play to one another. Straight back down. Mystic all the way back, waiting for these long balls. Fnatic are just probing for mistakes, and they haven't been coming thus far from FLIPSID. It's going to be some big bumping plays. Almost managed to find the angle. Cooksir finds himself all the way back. It's going to be a battle of the Batmobiles right now between him and Snaski. Snaski's almost got it out. Big fake there from Siki. And he's got another block. This is an opportunity now for Fnatic, as they've got the offensive pressure. A demo over in the background, though, might offer Fnatic, might offer FLIPSID Tactics a way out, but they've taken their time with this, allowing Mystic, the red-hot player right now, to try and go for flicks. Snaski down to Maestro. Lovely 1-2, but Cooksir pre-jumps, loiters in the air, and gets the save.
Again, Cooksir showing how good he can be on defense.
All the way out. Maestro puts it straight down to Mystic. Can he get another one? No, he cannot. As now FLIPSID have got the offense. Snaski not there for that. Mystic with the setup over to Cooksir. It's gonna be a slow roller off the crossbar, and finally Siki will remove the ball from almost certain doom for Fnatic. But once again, FLIPSID Tactics back on the offensive. They are unrelenting right now.
Yukio was in the middle of that field just waiting for his moment, and I actually am okay with him giving that one up, because if he doesn't get that win and then put that goal away, they're in big trouble with two players rotating back with no boost.
Oh, two players rotating back though, and Cooksir will take advantage. Fnatic, their rotation on defense breaking down entirely. And you can't afford to do that against a power shooter like Cooksir 97.
FLIPSID has said it, the most important week for them, and they're making it count. They understand the situation they are. They're trying to separate from that bottom two spot, avoid having to play the promotion relegation. And this is an excellent way to do it. Mystic really stepping up with the other teammates there as well, but he does it himself.
A well-deserved goal there from Mystic. Gonna make this a 2-goal lead. And Fnatic, I don't know what's happened. They had so many goals last season in the rival series, but it seems like the well has just run dry during the offseason, because they are struggling not only to score chances, but to create any. Just under half of this game remaining. Fnatic must find 2 goals. Otherwise, they will see themselves going 0-2 this week, in what has been a crucial week for both of these teams. Cooksir finds himself one-on-one against Maestro, who does end up giving up, instead electing to try and steal back boost. Now Mystic launching up high. Fnatic happy just to keep the ball out from the blue side. Once again, off the backboard. Big challenge there. Maestro, though, did get bumped, so we will not be able to follow this one up, and instead it's over to Mystic, controlling the ball, and might be able to come on top of this one, but instead Maestro does win the challenge. Yukio able to clear to the side, but it's not too safe, although it is going to be, because Fnatic, they are nowhere to be found.
Why is nobody there? It was so easy to understand that as soon as that ball got played back, Yukio only had one option, and apparently the option there is to put it in the back of the net. What a shot.
Absolutely. Cooks is set, though. We're not going to see the ball coming out, but that was such an awkward bounce for Fnatic to deal with. Caught one of the difficult angles there. FLIPSID Tactics opening this up to an almost unassailable lead.
We were wondering if it was because of complexity and how, I guess, difficult they are to play against. but it just seems to be that Fnatic has a glaring issue with applying that pressure.
It's going to be Sicky. Oh, what a great save there from Mystic. Looking to try and cap off what has been an incredible performance from him. Over to the other side. Might have accidentally just set that one up, but Cooks here will happily clear that one away off the backboard though. Both him and Mystic up for the double commit, but Fnatic, can they make something of it? But no, they cannot, because Yukio is already there.
Those are their chances, though. You saw a double commit between Cookser and Mystic on that back end. Those are the opportunities they need to create. It's what every other team has had an option to do against FLIPSID.
Over to the side, 50 seconds remaining now. Still, 3 goals are the difference. Sicky already up. They can't win any challenges right now, can Fnatic. Snasky ready and waiting, but Mystic more prepared, able to get there first. And now with 30 seconds remaining, Fnatic almost look like they have no hope in this series. Cooks it, taking his time, doesn't even get bumped. He's now going to go just over the top. Yukio is in the middle, can get to this one, and there is going to be a goal for the rookie.
Just everybody on FLIPSID having a field day, but the control from Cookser all the way over the top,
that's ridiculous.
And then to pinch that perfectly back in the middle. Yukio just reading that the whole way down. You know, Fnatic had a good attempt, roughly about 45 seconds. They really started picking up the pace. Pressuring, contest over in that corner. And man, I have not seen FLIPSID do a fake kickoff in a long time.
It hasn't worked in a very long time. They had a period where during Season 3, every time it tried to happen, it just was red every single time. Even led to a couple of dribble goals going against them. But this has been the perfect performance from FLIPSID Tactics. Will take a 4-goal win here. And they're going to take the sweep against Fnatic. Will Mystic be able to cap this off with one more? Nope, it will hit the floor. But what a series there from FLIPSID.